Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about subtracting two-digit numbers. Now, I know that y'all talked about this a little bit with Miss Shoup yesterday, but we're going to go a little farther today, and it's going to get a little bit trickier, but I know that y'all can handle it, okay? So, first of all, when we subtract, we know that we see the subtraction sign, which looks like this. And when you subtract, that means that you're taking away. You're not adding, you're taking away. When you subtract, you see this sign, and subtraction means take away. All right, we're going to start with some easy problems to review what you learned yesterday. Now, there are a couple different ways that you can subtract with two-digit numbers. The first way we're going to learn is by breaking it up into tens and ones and subtracting from there. So, let's look at this problem. 50 minus 30 equals something. Okay, so our problem is going to look like this if you're following along. Now, let's start by using our tens and ones. So, we're going to show how many tens and ones in each number. In the number 50, we know that we have a 5 in our tens place and a 0 in our ones place. In 30, we know that we have 3 tens and 0 ones. Now, when you subtract, you're always going to start by subtracting your ones place. So let's look at our ones only. You can cover up your tens. Let's look at our ones. We're left with 0 minus 0. Now, we can take 0 minus 0 because we know that 0 minus 0 is still 0. So I'm going to put a 0 all the way over here in our ones place. Okay? Now we're done with our ones. So let's cover up our ones and let's look at our tens. Now we have 5 minus 3. 5 take away 3 is what? Very good, 2. So I'm going to put a 2 in our tens place. So we know that 50 minus 30 equals 20. That is how you can solve the problem using tens and ones. Now we're going to do the same thing on our hundreds chart. So I'm going to point to the number 50. And I need to take away 30 from 50. So when I'm subtracting, I'm going to count going up. And we're going to count by tens until we get to 30 because we're taking away 30 from 50. Here we go. And my finger's on 50. We're going to count up to 30. Here we go. 10, 20, 30. What number did we land on? Very good. You landed on 20. So you can subtract using a hundreds chart. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract using 10 frames, okay? So I'm going to show you the number 50 in 10 frames. Can you guess how many 10 frames the number 50 is going to show? Very good. You need 5 10 frames to show the number 50. Now we're going to take away 30. When you are crossing out 10 frames, you're counting by 10 because each 10 frame has 10 counters in it. Let's cross out 30. Ready? 10, 20, 30. How many are left in our 10 frames? Let's count by tens. Ready? 10, 20. Very good. There are 20 left. So those are a couple of different ways to show you how to subtract by two-digit numbers. Now, what we're going to learn today is how to subtract numbers that are not multiples of 10. A multiple of 10 is a number that ends in a 0. For example, 10 is a multiple of 10 because it ends in a 0. 20 is a multiple of 10 because it ends in a 0. So is 30. Any number that you get when you count by tens is a multiple of 10 because they end in a 0. Today we're going to try to subtract numbers that are not multiples of tens. Okay, so it's going to get a little bit trickier. For example, let's take the problem 88 minus 42. Okay, so let's do it by showing our tens and ones again because I think that's the easiest way. So how many tens are in the number 88? 8 tens. How many ones? 8 ones. Okay, let's move on to 42. How many tens are in our number? 4. How many ones are in our number? 2. Very good. Now, when we subtract two-digit numbers, we always start with subtracting our ones. So let's cover up our tens. We have an 8 and we have a 2. What is 8 take away 2? Very good. That is 6. So I'm going to put a 6 all the way over here in our ones place. Now we're done with our ones, so let's cover them up and look at our tens. We have an 8 and a 4. What is 8 minus 4? Very good. 8 take away 4 is 4. So we have our answer. We have a 4 in our tens place and a 6 in our ones place. Now, we're going to do the same problem, but I'm going to show you how it can look a little bit different. Some of you might have seen this before, some of you maybe not. Instead of writing our numbers next to each other, I'm going to stack them on top of each other like this. So it's the same problem. We still have 88 and we still have 42. Here's our subtraction sign that shows that we are taking away. Now we're still going to start with our what? Very good. We're going to start with our ones. But look, our ones are stacked on top of each other like this. That makes it very easy to subtract. All we have to do is take away 8 minus 2. We know that 8 take away 2 is what? Very good, 6. Okay, now we have our tens place left. We have an 8 and a 4. They're stacked on top of each other. It's very easy to tell. We take 8 minus 4, which is 4. So our answer is still 46. Okay, let's do another one that is like that. Again, the numbers are going to be stacked on top of each other, which is a little bit different. We're going to do this problem, 63 minus 11. Okay, let's look for our ones. Again, we always start subtracting our ones. We have 3 minus 1. What's 3? Take away 1. Very good, 2. Okay, now we have our tens. We have 6 minus 1. What's 6? Take away 1. Very good, 5. So our answer is going to be 52. You circled your ones, subtracted those first. We underlined our tens and subtracted those. All right, now I'm going to do one tricky question with you guys. I know that you can handle it. This one's going to be a little bit trickier. I'm going to write it stacked on top of each other like we've been practicing. All right, so we have 52 minus 38. All right, let's look at our ones. We have a 2 and we have an 8. But hold on, can we take away 2 from 8? No, there's not enough. We cannot take away 8 from 2 because there's not enough. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to show these numbers using our tens and using our ones. So we know that we have our ones places and we have our tens places. So 52, we're going to start showing that with our tens and ones. 52 is 5 tens and 2 ones. 38 is 3 tens and 8 ones. Now what we're going to do to get enough to subtract 8 is we're going to borrow a 10 from 52. Now how many ones are in one 10? Very good, 10 ones are in a 10. So I'm going to take this 10 and I'm going to break it up into 10 ones. Now how many ones do we have? Let's count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now we have 12 ones. Can we take away 8 from 12? Yes, we can. So let's take away 8 from our 12. I'm going to cross out 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many ones are left? Very good. There are only 4 ones left. So I'm going to write that in our ones place. There are only 4 ones left. There's my answer. But I borrowed a 10 from my 5. So instead of this being a 5, I actually need to cross it out and write a 4 because we took that 10 and we broke it apart over here to make this a 12. So it's not 5 minus 3 anymore. It's 4 minus 3. So 4 minus 3 is 1. Very good job. I know that one was a little bit tricky, but I bet that you guys can handle it. All right, this is very important. Parents, I need you to listen up, please. In your child's learning packet, there is a page on 2-digit addition and 2-digit subtraction. It's called Peter's Favorite Food, and it has a part at the top that says assessment. Your student needs to complete this assessment page on their own. Okay, they've had a couple days to practice 2-digit addition and 2-digit subtraction. Now it's time for your child to practice on their own. They need to complete that page by themselves when you're done watching this lesson and completing the worksheet that goes with it. After they complete that page independently, you may take a picture, and I need you to text it, email it, or send it through Remind to your child's teacher. It's very important that every student does this, and then you need to send a picture through Remind, through text message, through email to your child's teacher. Okay? After you've completed the assessment, there's a couple more activities that you and your child can do at home to practice 2-digit subtraction. You can choose a 2-digit number or roll a dice to get a 2-digit number and then take a multiple of 10 to subtract from it. You can say we're going to subtract 20 from this number, we're going to subtract 30 from this number, or 40 from this number. That's a great way to practice. Another thing that you can do is you can make spinners using papers, using a piece of paper and a paper clip, and then you can write different 2-digit numbers on the spinner. Your child can spin the spinner and then get 2-digit numbers to subtract. The last thing you could do is you can make signs with 2-digit numbers on them. Just get white pieces of paper, have your child choose a couple 2-digit numbers to write on the papers, and then your child can toss bean bags onto the paper and choose the numbers. They can toss a ball, they can toss anything onto those pieces of paper, and then you're going to take those two numbers that they toss the object onto and subtract them. Just tell them to remember to always stack the bigger number on top. All right, that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time.